look at the city. Because it looks so good. You can even drive. You can tune the cars. You can change stuff on them. Mix between GTA and Cyberpunk and anime gacha games. Something somewhere in the middle. Okay, ultimate animations look pretty good. Pretty smooth. Oh, that looks really good. This game looks good, but I also have some concerns. So this is the newest game from the creators of Tower of Fantasy, from the Hota studio. This game is called Neverness to Everness, and they already released a trailer which we are watching right now, and they also released actual gameplay which we're gonna watch just here in a second, so stay tuned for that. So my concern is that the game kind of looks good, right? If you look at what they are showing, it looks pretty good. Clearly the quality looks way better than Tower of Fantasy, but also this is coming from the Tower of Fantasy creators, a game famous for absolutely horrendous quality and, you know, being just beyond pay to win, and the power creep is just, you know, through the limits, you know, through the roof. So I do have a little bit of concerns. Right now we're watching just the trailer, and obviously the trailer will not show too much, but it does look pretty cool for what it is. So let's just finish up watching the trailer. Let's see what else they're gonna show, what we're gonna notice. The first thing that I kind of noticing so far, it doesn't seem like there's gonna be many male characters. So far all I see is pretty ladies, so to say, which honestly I don't care too much as long as, you know, the game is good. That's not really an issue for me. It does look pretty good. The art style does look very good, like really good. And we have a male character apparently. But really the art style looks really good, man. I have to say, like this looks at least 10 times better than Tower of Fantasy, and I hope it will be. Man, I hope it will be, because this looks very good.
Some calories.
Okay, so this is gonna be probably like a team. I think you're probably gonna have like a team of 4s, maybe. It does look like it's gonna be an open world as well, which is a good thing, because the open world is like an actual city, which is pretty cool, and like a normal city, not the Tower of Fantasy type of style city. Looks like it anyway. A bit more normal. Not that there's anything wrong with Tower of Fantasy cities, they are unique in their own way, but I don't know, I always prefer like a city, even if it's a futuristic city, that is a little bit more normal, you know? Alright.
You can go now.
Like, this looks good. Like, this looks really good. Like, this is exactly the type of city I'm talking about, right? It's a bit futuristic, not much, but just a little bit. But it also looks like a city, right? It doesn't look like some sort of a mesh that they imagined, you know? It looks like a normal city. I like that, I really do. This kind of... the art style kind of reminds me a little bit of Zoneless... Zen Zero, I think it's called. Honestly, that name is awful to me, the ZZZ. And if I'm being completely honest to the creators, I know name has nothing to do with the game itself, but Neverness to Everness, I don't know. It should roll off the tongue, but somehow it doesn't. I don't know. I don't really like the name, but honestly, if it's a good game, like, who cares, right? That's just a minor detail at this point. Otherwise, this looks great. Like, this looks really good. This is almost like a GTA, right? But this is like a gacha anime game with, like, you know, fighting and everything else that comes with a gacha game. But it almost reminds me a little bit like an anime GTA 5, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing in any way. Yeah, the trailer looks good, and if you want to watch their gameplay, you can find it here. This is their channel, and if you wish, you can also follow me on my channel. Be sure to give me a quick follow as well. So now let's watch the actual gameplay. And immediately, right off the bat, it looks smooth. Like, this looks good. It looks smooth. It obviously looks big in certain areas, as every gacha game does, and of course it has a kit as well, as nearly every gacha game does at this point. The animations definitely look pretty smooth. Like, if we look, you know, just the design and how everything like moves, like all the little all the little details on the jackets and everything like that. That's pretty smooth. I like it. That's good. The design of the characters are really good. And the world itself, just look around, is very bright, very vivid. It feels like a street, right? It feels normal, is what I'm trying to say, in a good way normal. I like it, I really do. And that's why I kind of have high hopes for this game, because it does look pretty good, but God, I just hope they do not pull off another Tower of Fantasy. I hope they learn that, you know, having a massive power creep and also having like completely unoptimized game is just not gonna work, right? Like, the game is gonna fail sooner or later. Like, that's not the way to go. I hope they realize that. Yeah, the city looks really good, man. And it looks smooth. It doesn't look like Tower of Fantasy. It looks smooth. Admittedly, some of the trailers for Tower of Fantasy, they did look good as well, but boy oh boy, it wasn't. I can see a little bit of, you know, that almost like, I don't know what even to call it. It's like, just notice how people around move, like, you know, like, again, the game is not released yet, you know, maybe they're gonna smooth it out. It just feels, you know, a bit not smooth enough, but maybe that's just on a video like this, you know. Maybe in the game itself you're gonna play, if it's available, you know, at high frame rates, and it's gonna be fantastic. I don't know. Yeah, that's something I just noticed. I like even the way, you know, I like even the way she stops, just look. Up, and she goes like that. It's good, like, the little details matter. Obviously, we're gonna have food, which is obviously gonna give you probably HP and buffs, like every other gacha. I mean, you played one of them, you kind of played all of them, so you already know what to expect to a certain extent. That looks good. You know, the train and everything, that looks awesome. Maybe you can jump on the train and actually ride the train to your destination, wherever you're trying to get. That'd be pretty cool. I really like the look. Man, the city looks awesome. And the fact that it's open world. The city kind of reminds me a little bit of Zone Less Than Zero in like the art style. But the thing is, that one is like, you know, it's pretty close. There's a couple of streets and that's it. Like, if the ZZZ had like a huge open world, it would be one of the better games for me, because it looks so good, but it doesn't, right? It's just a couple of streets, but those couple of streets look really good. And this actually has a huge open world that looks just as good, in my opinion, if not a little bit better, to be honest. This looks really awesome. I like it. I just hope this game doesn't fail, because if it looks as good as this, and, you know, I'm gonna be able to explore the world, it's gonna be awesome. I hope they show a little bit of combat and everything. I haven't watched this yet. I only have watched the trailer before making this video, so the game looked good, but only from the trailer, so we are watching this together for the first time. I'm reacting to all of this for the first time as well. And what is this? Some sort of a wall. I guess this is gonna be like a dungeon, maybe? Oh, it's a little boss fight, okay. Let's see the combat. Alright, okay, yeah, I see on the side you do have 4 characters, okay. So it's a bit like Genshin, okay, that's good to know. Okay, ultimate animations look pretty good, pretty smooth. Oh, that looks really good. That looks really good. Okay. I can see a little bit of Tower of Fantasy in it, but just a little bit, not too much. To be completely fair, Tower of Fantasy combat animations were not that bad. That wasn't like the worst thing about the game, by no means. They needed a little bit of work. They didn't have like the Wuthering Waves or Genshin, you know, quality to them, but they were not bad necessarily. And this is kind of a little bit like that, but, you know, upgraded, which is good. That works. Absolutely, it does. Alright, and we have a little boss room, I guess. Oh, maybe not quite. Alright. Let's see some more animations. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, what can I say? I have nothing really to complain about that. This looks fine. Yeah. If animations are as good as this, yeah, no complaints. Absolutely none. Yep. That's on par with, like, you know, any other gacha game. Yeah, this is fine. This game so far looks really good. At the bottom they say work in progress does not represent the final quality. So, you know, if they actually even improve of what they already have, man, this could be a banger. I'm telling you guys, this could be a banger. The only concern I have is how bad the Tower of Fantasy was, and man, I hope they learn, because the power creep is just absolutely enormous. And yeah, the quality and you know, it's not just the quality, but also, like, for example, when I went to that underwater city, I don't remember the name of it, it lagged so bad that I don't think any game for me lagged like that, you know, it wasn't my PC problem for like 15 years or something. I didn't had a game that badly optimized. So yeah, that's kind of, you know, why it's a little bit concerning for me, because it looks so good. You can even drive. That is freaking cool. There is no other gacha game that you can actually jump in the car and drive. I don't believe so anyway. This is like a mini GTA. And the city is pretty big from the looks of it. It doesn't look small. This gives me like anime cyberpunk vibes a little bit. Looks so good, man. Awesome. And it's also unique because every gacha game is the same, right? And now you'll have a gacha game that is actually something like GTA, where you can drive, you know, when there's an actual city. It's different, what I'm trying to say, because, for example, Wuthering Waves, as good as it is, and, you know, the combat is revolutionary compared to Genshin, but in every other aspect and regard, it is just Genshin, alright? It's the same. It's this fantasy open world game, right? And this is a bit more like GTA style game, which is, you know, different. Okay, so you can tune the cars, you can change stuff on them, you can change the... okay. The car apparently has some sort of like a damage scale or something. I don't know Chinese, so I have no idea, but that's pretty cool. Maybe it's just like speed braking and, you know, cornering, something like that. I have no idea. It would make a lot more sense, to be to be honest. No, that looks really good, man. That's the same when in GTA you ride into the garage, you know, change the car and the cops don't change. Is there cops? Do you fight cops? Maybe there's like stars or something? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. This looks really good, man. Okay, so this is like an office. You can maybe purchase something. Estate group, so you can buy houses. Yeah, there is actual houses as well. Okay. This so reminds me of, and I just like, you know, like little details, like, oh, you wanna buy a house? Okay, you know, go to this place, you know, to the real estate place. You know, you just sit back on the chair, talk to the manager. They're gonna find something for you. It's kind of, you know, reminds me a little bit of real life, but you know, it's a gacha game, so it's, again, it's different. It's compared to like Genshin and every other game, it's different, right? I mean, it's not different to GTA in a sense, but you know, compared to other gacha games, because you can't really compare it to GTA. That wouldn't be fair. The only thing I've kind of just, you know, noticing, every other car is the same. Like there's maybe 5 or 6 cars. That's about it. Hopefully with some updates, you know, they introduce, and I'm not talking about the car that you can drive, but in general, like the cars that are, you know, driving in the city. I hope they make even dumb models, but more of them, you know, just so there would be variety. What a difficult word, man. Maybe add some bikes or something, you know, and make them drive not like in Tower of Fantasy. That was awful. Just make them normal driving, you know. Okay, this reminds me of, you know, the Tower of Fantasy, but what is this? No idea, I can't read genius, so no clue. I think this is probably gonna be our house, right? This is literally gonna be the same as in Tower of Fantasy, where you go into this like a tower and you go up a lift and there you go, there's your house. But maybe there's actually gonna be a penthouse with the view that looks awesome as this, so I won't mind, because this looks really good.
尊贵的主人，
Alright,
人管家，海特洛世家。
be interesting to see what he says, but there we go.
接下来，我将简单为您介绍新居。
That's an interesting way of approaching things.
伊登公寓坐向桥间地黄金地段，购物、餐饮和娱乐场所步行可达。这边是会
This game looks so optimistic, man. It looks so good, I swear to God. If they don't fail this, this could be big. I swear to God, this could be big. Just look at this city. Look at this. For one, it looks so good. 2, it's big. 3, it's open world. 4, it's kind of unique. This is awesome. I'm loving it so far. And all the little details and everything, just so cool, man. It's just so cool. It almost feels like they completely, you know, threw the Tower of Fantasy away. You even have a pool. Come on, man. It almost feels like they completely threw away the Tower of Fantasy, you know, and just put all their resources and work into this game, which, if that's what they did, that's exactly what they should have done. Can you imagine taking a bath here with all that view? That would be awesome. The Night City looks even better. It looks even, come on, man. Looks so good. There's even, I think this is for the cats, right? Guys, you got me, you know. Now I'm super excited for this game. Now I really want to play it. I'm super waiting for this. Looks so good. It almost looks like a picture, you know, the city, but you can actually just walk out and go there. You see those buildings? You can go there. Really cool. That's awesome. I wish they showed a bit more combat, maybe a few boss fights, but overall I'm pretty happy with what they showed. That's a lot more than they, you know, could have showed. Okay, so this is probably her special ability or something. She can walk. Okay, there's a glider, thankfully. I mean, every game at this point has it, but thankfully here it's also the case. We now know that it's gonna be the case, which is good. I love gliders, what can I say? In every game, I love it simply because they're so useful. They make your life easier. In the rain, in the dark, I swear to God, this looks like a cyberpunk. Animated version of cyberpunk. Straight up, this looks like a cyberpunk. Like a mix between GTA and cyberpunk and anime gacha games. Something somewhere in the middle. But it does look a little bit laggy though, doesn't it? Or maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just YouTube, right? YouTube is probably... What kind of settings do we... Well, it is at 60 frames though, so... I don't know, a little bit worrying, but then again it could be just a video thing, you know. Maybe I'll play it like 100 FPS. There's a first person view as well. Okay. Alright, that's awesome. Again, like I said, you know, maybe you're gonna play it at like 100 frames or something and it's gonna be absolutely fine. I don't know. I hope even at 60 is gonna be fine, because from the video it does look a little bit choppy, but it could be just a video. It's so hard to say, man. Sometimes I render my videos and they feel a lot more choppy than what they felt to me in the game. That's just the way it is sometimes. Okay, so there's an enemy that is riding a bike. Okay, this looks... Alright, this looks so cool. This is clearly a boss. That is straight up anime scene. Okay, man, what can I say? I'm just gonna put it back here for a second. This looks so good, man. Again, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for this game? What are your thoughts? We watched the trailer together. If you wish, you can go ahead and watch it on your own as well. But in my opinion, the game looks phenomenal. I like the open world. It looks so good. I like the fact that it's a bit unique compared to every other gacha game. It's also, you know, like a mix between GTA, Cyberpunk, and gacha. The animations looked amazing. The movement looks good. Combat looks... I wouldn't say it looks fantastic. You know, it doesn't look as good as Vuva, at least from the trailers. But it doesn't look bad either. And I love the world itself, the city. That's one of my favorite things so far. I love there's so many like little details, and the characters, the way they made them, they look good. There's so many positives. Driving, the driving is so awesome as well. I love the fact that you can drive. But I am cautious, you know, I'm optimistically cautious, because what they did to Tower of Fantasy, if they, you know, do the same thing to this game, it's just gonna ruin a potentially good game. And I hope they learned the lessons, you know, that trying to squeeze every single penny and, you know, put little to no effort, it's just not gonna work. Especially nowadays when you have things like Genshin and Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves proved that if you put a good game out there, you can compete with Genshin, at least to a certain extent. You can, but you do need to put a good game out there. You know, if you put garbage like Tower of Fantasy, not garbage, okay, that's a strong word, but subpar game that is Tower of Fantasy, you're not gonna compete. That's the honest truth. You're just not gonna compete. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts about this game? Are you excited? Are you waiting for it? Are you gonna play it? And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, also be sure to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.